I'm expecting the worst, and yet I'm ready to be disappointed. Hello everyone, this is VG Master 2, and Smash. I really don't have much more to say, it's just new Smash content. Oh, that's right. This character is supposed to be the last. And cue everyone being mad at me for not automatically believing Sakurai. But right, sure, they're definitely not just milking hype. It's the last guy. He said so. It's just like how Scott Cawthon said that the 4th game was the last. There were no Five Nights at Freddy's games after 4. It's the last. He said so. That makes it true. Just ignore the fact that Sakurai already lied about having to wait a while from Kazuya's presentation, which was at the end of June, not mid-June like I thought. October 5th is not that far away from June 28th. There was a longer wait between Joker and Heroes announcements, but whatever. Motherfuckers would never be able to survive being Five Nights at Freddy's fans if they're this fucking gullible, I swear to God. Listen, this very well could be the last character. I could be wrong, but I could, even eventually, be proven right. But no matter what happens, I still don't think Sakurai can be trusted. He has a long history of not just lying, but changing his mind, and especially because Nintendo's calling the shots and they like to pull bullshit. Forgive me for not immediately blindly believing them. I've just been burned before. But anyway, you probably know the background. This presentation was announced on September 23rd in the Nintendo Direct and slated for October 5th. On social media posts, it was also revealed that this would be around 40 minutes long, as these things can tend to be. Just like the end of the first pass, they refused to reveal who the character was, opting to have the reveal be with the rest of its info. Just a reminder, that character at the end of the first pass was Byleth. So, repeating what you did before, even though what you did before was a total failure. Oh yeah, that bodes well. They also pushed the hell out of this, and you know what usually happens when motherfuckers push something super fucking heavily? The thing they're trying to push is either a lie or straight up shit. So, I guess we're fucked. But we can't know for certain until we watch it. So, let's do that, shall we? I'm ready for it to be a Pokemon, let's just get this over with. We begin with Sakurai, who doesn't even hesitate before pushing yet again that this is the last anything for this game. Actions speak louder than words, fucker. He says that they have very little budget, which sounds like bullshit because this is one of the highest selling Switch games. It is a console seller. You should have millions to spare. Unless what he's trying to say is Nintendo is corrupt and taking all the money. He then brings us right to the Mii fighters. There's the Octoling. Oh god, why are we focusing on Splatoon? Don't tell me it's a Splatoon rep. Then Judd. Oh my fucking god. Then, Doomslayer. Well, fucking rip. There go his chances. And that's it. Yep. It's supposedly the last batch of Mii costumes ever, and they ended off with 3. 2 Splatoon, and Doom Guy. Wow! Thanks for going all out! They come out October 18th. Wow, thanks for spoiling when the character's gonna come out. Sakurai then keeps laying it on thick that this is the last character. Oh my god, we get it. You're trying to hype us up. Get to the fucking point. Finally, he shows us the trailer. Everyone's staring at the big flaming Smash symbol in the sky, including Inkling. I guess she's been doing this non-stop since March 2018. Well, the flames finally go out, save for one fallen ember, and everyone just dies, I guess. They put a worrying amount of screen time on Zelda, then Shulk, then some of the others until we get to Mario, who wakes up due to the remaining flame and goes over to it. He grabs it, that's a thing he can do now I guess, and throws it, for some reason. And, oh my god, that's a Mickey. Oh my god, that's a Keyblade! It unlocks a keyhole in the sky, everyone starts coming to life, and Simple and Clean starts to play. That's right, motherfuckers, it's not a Pokemon, thank fucking god. It's the good boy himself, Sora from Kingdom Hearts. He was one of the characters I wanted to see, so between that and him not being Rillaboom, I am very pleased. Something really funny is that throughout this DLC cycle, no one has been able to leak who the characters were, at least in the second pass. But now, when this is supposed to be the last character apparently, there were like 3 leaks. Maybe more. Good job. Sakurai then explains what Kingdom Hearts is, even though who the fuck doesn't know? A collaboration between Square and Disney that was only able to happen because Disney wasn't the biggest bitch on the 7 seas yet, that has one of the most retarded and insane stories of any series? Everyone knows that! Sakurai then divulges something else we already knew. You see, back in 2016, when Bayonetta was announced for 4, Nintendo said that she was the winner of the fighter ballot by being highest voted in Europe. To which everyone said, "You're lying, shut the fuck up." Eventually, it would kind of just be known that that was a lie, and that many of the newcomers for Ultimate had been more requested than Bayonetta. Well, if we can trust Sakurai for just this instance, the truth finally comes out. Apparently, Sora was the most requested fighter ever, and after talking it over with Iwata, yes, this happened that long ago, holy shit, they decided not to tell everyone the actual results. Most likely because if they did, Disney would kill them in their fucking sleep. But Sora being the most requested actually makes a lot of sense, as in an unofficial poll done by the community about a year ago now, he was not only ranked 2nd most requested in Japan, but the most requested in America and Europe. This is the culmination of not only that, but also of Sakurai finally getting to work with Nomura, a known friend of his, as well as collaborating with Disney. Which, you know, Disney is fucking disgusting, but just this once I'll let it slide. Sora is an easier to use character compared to the other DLC, and as expected, is a very floaty boy. He's also very light, so he's Mewtwo but a human with a weapon. Well, rest in peace Sora, it was nice while it lasted. He has his KH1 appearance as his default costume, but has his KH2, 3D, 3, complete with separate renders, Valor, Wisdom, Ultimate, and even Toon designs. His moves are just about what everyone expected. The normal ones are Keyblade attacks, and the special ones are mostly magic. He has a bit of combo potential, but he's nowhere near as crazy as, say, Kazuya. He also has a counter for his down special. Why am I not surprised? His final smash is called Sealing the Keyhole, and it's exactly what you'd expect. His stage is Hollow Bastion, but under certain conditions it will morph into Dive to the Heart. It contains the stained glass panes of not only Sora, but Riku, Roxas, Xion, Terra, Ventus, and Aqua. Kairi doesn't count because she never got her own, and I guess Axel didn't either. Fucking rip. Sakurai then goes into a stamina battle with Cloud and Sephiroth, very funny, and shows off what happens when Sora wins a game. Before the results screen, the game slows down as you give the finishing blow and fades to white, just like in Kingdom Hearts. Yes, now everyone can get their revenge on Sephiroth for being hard as fucking all of the numbered ones except 3. Why wasn't he in 3? Sora only has 9 songs, and none of them are remixes. Oh, but technically there is a remix of Hand in Hand for the victory screen. That doesn't count. Oh, also, if you have data for the spin-off rhythm game, you can get the swing version of Dearly Beloved. Wow, thank you. Also, fuck you. Interestingly, there's 0 Disney content other than the mouse's head on the Keyblade, but you know what? That's fine. In fact, the less Disney, the better. As expected, he comes out October 18th. Coincidentally, 13 days after the presentation. Very funny. He also just so happens to be coming with version 13, which is even fucking funnier. Sakurai then gives news on amiibos. He doesn't have it with him, but he shows off Steve's amiibo, and yep, that's definitely Steve. They're also making an Alex amiibo, and I can only assume it's because Mojang, retards that they are, forced them to do it for quote-unquote gender equality reasons, since Alex is seen as the default female. They're coming out in spring 2022, which doesn't mean much because that can be as early as March if they're talking about the fiscal year, or as late as almost July if they're talking about the actual fucking calendar. The other boys are also going to be getting amiibos eventually, which technically does mean that content has yet to be released, even if everything the amiibos do is already in the game. Listen, it's something. Sakurai then reveals that all of the Kingdom Hearts games are coming to the Switch. Yes! Finally! As cloud games, god fucking damn it! Why must your hardware suck, Nintendo? Can you hear that? That's the sound of Kingdom Hearts sales going through the fucking roof. That also might be the sound of Disney crying after realizing that this means that they're going to have to stop being a piece of shit, or else they're going to get the ever-loving fuck beaten out of them by the entire rest of the world. Though that might just be wishful thinking. We see Sora get added to the huge fucking poster and are shown a summary of the game's stats as of now. There are 89 characters, counting Pokemon Trainer as 3 and Pirate and Mithra as 2, and I think actually counting the Echoes as fighters, which is only really done to artificially increase the size of the roster, but it really only makes me wish that they added one more, so it could be a clean 90. 116 stages, technically 340, 201 items. You know what? I'm not going over all that shit. You can watch it in the presentation. We are finally left with the full trailer for Sora, which includes a CGI portion of Sora shaking hands with Mario, with everyone else watching from the background. Holy fuck, that's so cool. Also, the instrumental of Simple and Clean is beautiful. It just makes everything it's in sound whimsical. Holy shit. So, not gonna lie, with Sora supposedly being the most requested fighter ever, this do be looking pretty final. But, tinfoil hats on, boys. Let's talk about some stuff. Okay, so you might have heard about this before, and I might mess up the explanation. So, on the New Zealand Nintendo website, every page has a series of numbers in its URL. Now, certain URLs are numerical, like the Smash DLC. The first Fighter's Pass had Joker, I believe, right after Piranha Plant's page, and the rest of the fighters were included in subsequent number order from there. The Mii costume, the bonus one you get for buying the whole pass at once, was also there, but it was the last in that list of numbers. The other costumes, by the way, have separate pages, they don't count. Why is this important? Well, months ago it was discovered that the pages for the second pass were a little weird. So, you had Min Min in the front and the bonus Mii costume in the back, and then you had the other characters filling up the spots as they came out. You know, Steve, Sephiroth, Pyra, Mithra, and Kazuya. That's about when they discovered it. Now, there's only one slot in the pass left at that time, so you would think there would be one unknown page and then the bonus costume, right? But there wasn't. Instead, there were 2 pages. Now, one may think that that extra page is just a mistake and the bonus costume page had a typo. But when you go on this website, there are specific error codes for different things, like there is for every website. However, the error code that popped up was not "this page does not exist," it was "this page's contents have not been revealed." That means that there is something there, they just haven't showed us what it is. Theoretically, it should still say that because only Sora was revealed and there's nothing else that would fill that page out. It might not be a new fighter, but it's something, and it means that they have at least one piece of new content they have yet to reveal. But let's say that that page is a mistake. What then? Well, I've already said it in other videos that Nintendo had given Super Mario Party DLC years after it was released with absolutely no sign that they were going to do so. I think it's still possible that even if they truly intend for Sora to be the last thing, it's still possible for Nintendo to do more in the future. Like, let's say in about a year and a half, Nintendo's not doing so hot, or they're just getting greedy, and they say, hey, we want money, let's go back to Smash and make some shit for it. Theoretically, I believe that that's possible, but, and this is where I reveal how absolutely batshit crazy I am, if this is the end, if there's no bonus, if there's no future content for Ultimate, what about the next game? Oh yeah, baby, we're talking about it. First, let's decipher when we could get this next game. Well, between 1 and Melee, there were 3 years. Melee and Brawl, 7. Brawl and 4, 6. 4 and Ultimate, 4. Okay, so that's a 5-year gap on average, low of 3, high of 7. Smash has historically come out once per console. Let's assume that that will stay the same. That means we need to find out when the next console is coming out, approximately. So, we are currently in year 5 of the Switch. It's been out for 4 years, and Nintendo said that we are entering the middle of the Switch's lifespan. I believe that Nintendo has also said something along the lines of they want to milk this console for as long as they can, and they want it to last longer than consoles usually do. So, if the beginning of its lifespan was 3 to 4 years or so, that means that the middle will be about 3-ish years, and therefore the end will also be about 3 years, right? Sure, let's just say that. Well, that means that the Switch would last 9, maybe 10 years if we're being generous, which means that it still has quite a bit of time left. So, what does that mean for Smash? Well, Ultimate has existed since the very end of year 2, so it's been out for almost 3 whole years. Since we're in year 5, that means we can estimate that we should get the next game in about 4 years. Which is perfect, because that would mean it would be about 7 years between the 2 games, which is completely in line with the other games. And that's only when the game would come out. The announcement and hype cycle could start even earlier. So what about the characters in this game? Well, there's gonna be a massacre. Yeah, most of these motherfuckers won't be coming back, I bet. I wouldn't be surprised if the Echoes were stripped down, or stripped back down to costumes, and even some of the non-Echoes may get the same treatment. So it's them in appearance and name, but not in original moveset. There's no way they're going to get most of the third parties back either. Sonic, yes. Mega Man, yes. Pac-Man, yes. But everyone else is a toss-up. Snake, maybe, though he might be replaced by Simon. Ryu, maybe. Cloud, most likely gone. Bayonetta, possibly gone, but that might just be me wishing she gets cut. Joker, probably cut, but maybe replaced by the main protagonist of Persona 6. Hero might actually stay, because he's clearly the one Square Enix gives the least of a shit about. Banjo depends on the relationship between Nintendo and Microsoft, though right now there's no reason to believe they hate each other. Terry might actually come back, since his company seems so lenient with shit. They probably really like Nintendo, especially after the free advertising Smash gave them. Steve is fucking gone. There's no way that Mojang is going to tolerate Nintendo if they, meaning Mojang, keep becoming more and more woke. So he's fucked. Sephiroth most likely gone, almost definitely gone if Cloud's gone. Kazuya might actually come back. And Sora's never gonna happen again. Not unless Disney goes through a major fucking change in management and business operations. But what about newcomers? Or, more so, do I think that the characters I've been talking about for years, oh my god, it's been multiple years, are going to be newcomers? Well, I guess the first one we'll talk about is the one that is literally guaranteed to happen in some way, shape, or form. A Pokemon. Do I think it'll still be Rillaboom? No. I think it'll be a Pokemon from Gen 9 or 10. 9 if the Smash game gets announced sooner than the 30th anniversary, as I've predicted that Gen 10 will start in 2026. In fact, they might even be super cheeky and design the next few grass starter Pokemon with Smash in mind so they can force whoever's leading the project to pick them to round out the secondary starter trio. But a Pokemon is definitely happening. If we are to believe Sakurai for just a moment, he said they literally reserve a spot on the roster for one, and so far, a new one has been ham-fisted into every game, so there's no reason to not think that's true. Next, Waluigi. Man, rip Waluigi. Maybe. I literally have no idea. It depends on whether or not the guy making it could be Sakurai, it might not be, wants to be a bitch or not. He should get in, because he's one of the only interesting Mario characters that hasn't been added yet. But I can't say. Then there's Jibanyan. In the unofficial poll that showed Sora in the top 3 for Japan, America, and Europe, Jibanyan was in 10th place for Europe, and a series is still going in Japan, so he surely has quite the audience. However, the problem lies with the fact that they're basically refusing to localize any of the games after 3, and they aren't dubbing the anime either. Effectively, the series is barely still going. They haven't released any games since last year, and that was a spin-off. They haven't announced any future games. It's on Season 8 of the anime under its 5th name, but it's the 2nd soft reboot, and there's no content to pull from for anything to come after, and there hasn't been a movie since 2019, with no announcement of a new one expected. I think it's safe to say that Level 5 fucked themselves and have a dying series on their hands, which means that it might not even survive long enough to get a chance at being represented in the next Smash game at all. Which sucks, because it used to have promise. Conversely, Agumon. You might have noticed that the poll also features him at a higher position, and this, again, was after the base release of Ultimate. Back then, I'm pretty sure that Kizuna wasn't even out. But now? Holy shit, Agumon might just have a chance. Digimon has been getting a lot of attention from Kizuna, but also the Adventure reboot and the Vital Bracelet, as well as the new card game. Now, they have a new version of the Vital Bracelet to go along with the new season of the anime that literally started a few days before this, Digimon Ghost Game, which is already looking pretty promising, as well as the reveal of a 0-2 movie set in the original Kizuna timeline and Digimon Survive coming eventually. Digimon is in the public eye again, and it's gaining popularity. If they can keep this up for a few more years, it might make Namco recommend Agumon to Nintendo for the next Smash game. It's crazy to think that Agumon and Jibanyan's chances have completely flipped. What the fuck did you think you were doing, Level 5? Next, a Monster Hunter rep. For the past few months, I've been saying that I think it would be funny if Kulu Yaku made it into Smash instead of the traditional human hunter. I think that's still very possible, but in the coming years, Capcom might make an even better monster that could fit in Smash. We don't even know any of the new monsters for Rise Sunbreak, so anything's possible. After that, Geno. This boy's another Square character, and if I don't even think Cloud is more than 50% likely for the next game, there's no way I can, in good conscience, say I think Geno will get in. I think he should. Sakurai has wanted him since Brawl, and it would be really nice to see all that waiting pay off, but I don't think it'll happen unless Nintendo either buys Geno back or Nintendo maintains a really good relationship with Square, and I don't know if I trust either of those to happen. Then, there's Sans. You know what? I think Sans is guaranteed. Next game, I think Sans is officially going to become a playable character in either base game or early DLC. I'm pretty fucking confident about that. Toby is already acquaintances with Sakurai. His games practically have priority on Nintendo consoles. He's collaborated with Game Freak and contributed to Pokémon. Japan absolutely loves his stuff. We probably have to wait years for the next Deltarune chapter, and even when there hasn't been content in a while, Sans is always getting attention as a constant meme. Toby would have to fuck up so bad that his shit becomes irredeemable before I change my mind about Sans getting into Smash. I think it's definitely happening. And that leads us nicely into the last character I want to talk about. Yes, it's Freddy Fazbear. I'm literally only bringing this up for consistency's sake. So, theoretically, it's still possible. However, while before I thought that Freddy might get into the next Smash game like Sans would, not necessarily being in the base game, but the DLC. Well, the movie is getting fucked in the ass left and right, and they're better off just canceling it. The upcoming game has been taking forever, and we have no reason to assume it's anywhere close to being done because they haven't showed us gameplay for longer than Pokemon Company waited to show us more footage of Budspa after its initial reveal. Literally to tie people over, they're wasting their fucking money and resources on shitty looking animations that don't even have anything to do with the game and only have very few millisecond long looks at some of the jump scares. So, fairly certain it's going to get delayed into oblivion and cancelled, though personally for reasons I don't want to get into now, I'd be pretty okay with that. I can't see them coming up with any other new interesting concepts for future games, so all of them are either going to be rehashes, ass pulls, or just straight up non-existent. And we do not talk about the books. In fact, what am I talking about? There are no books! Effectively, this series is surviving completely off of nostalgia and sheep. So, sucks to say, but I don't know anymore. The series might be so shit by the time the next Smash game comes out that even if it does get represented, I don't even know if it will have been earned. Just fuck me, dude. Well, I think with that, I've said everything I've wanted to say. If this really is the end of Ultimate, then I had a good time. Incineroar and Byleth were absolute fucking slaps in the face. But other than that, this hype cycle was great while it lasted, and Sora would be a great finisher. Just remember, the end is never actually the end. There may always be more. But thank you, Sakurai, his employees, Nintendo, and everyone else that made this happen. Except Disney, fuck Disney, for what you've already given us. Anyways, I'm VGMaster2, and I am about to have an existential crisis. Steve was a fucking year ago, what the fuck?